Hello class, here we are in week 5, almost done. I wanted to post this video to give you some tips on the week 5 assignment. Typically there are a couple of questions in here that students struggle with, so hopefully I can help you through these. Now the first thing you need to do, as usual for each week, is to make sure you read the chapters. In this case, we are working on chapters 11 and 16, so make sure you read those thoroughly first. And then we're going to go down to the assignment, week 5 assignment, and download the worksheet. So we click on the link, and the assignment will download in the document file. We'll open the document. So here we have a series of questions. Again, make sure you have your textbook handy because all of the solutions to these questions are in your textbook. Questions 1, 2, and 3 are short answers, so you'll be looking for sections in those two chapters to answer those questions. Questions 4 and 5 are calculations. So it's always good practice when you're doing a calculation is to write the formula first. So for question 4, look up the times interest earned ratio and write that down. The next step then is to substitute the numbers for the items in the formula, and then finally do the math. This way, if you just make a math area, I can give you some partial credit because you demonstrated you understand or you understood what the task was here. So write down the formula, substitute the numbers, and then do the math. Question 5 is a math question, so you have to take the appropriate percentages times the wages that are earned. Question number 6 has to do with employer taxes and the taxes that your employer pays on your behalf. And just as a point, these are not deducted from your paycheck. Again, this is basically a math problem. However, you have to be careful because some of the income amounts are subject to limits. What this means is that the employer only has to pay tax on the first given amount. For example, FICA Social Security is on the first $118,000. So what this means is that the employer only pays tax on the first $118,000 that is paid. And if we look down to the cumulative pay, we don't have any amount over that. So we really don't need to worry about that for the second column. The third column is given the percentage, so it's a math exercise there. The last two columns are also subject to a limit. It doesn't say so on the federal unemployment tax, the FUTA, but that also has a $7,000 limit. So what that means is the employer only pays tax on the first $7,000. So if we look over to the cumulative pay column, we've got a couple that, or 3 that are over 7,000, so you have to be careful with those. And then finally we have the statement of cash flows. And the thing to remember here is that you're going to put an X in one and only one column. And we're going to be dealing mainly with the first 3, operating activities, investing, and financing activities. So what you have to understand to complete this successfully is which category on the balance sheet each of these items is. If the item is a current asset or a current liability, then it goes under operating, with the exception of dividends payable. If it's a long-term asset, then it goes under the investing activities. If it is a long-term liability or equity item, then it goes under financing activities. So again, you're going to put an X in each row under one and only one column. So it's important to understand which category each of these falls under. And there are examples of cash flow statement in a book. And so if you look at those examples, you can probably figure out which category goes under. And then finally, you've got your reflection at the end of the assignment. Remember to complete this. Okay, good luck.